Welcome to Kitsap Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Everybody please rise in body and or spirit to join in singing our call to worship, Mother Earth, Beloved Garden, hymn number 1067 in our teal hymnal. 1067 in the teal hymnal.
And living treasure underfoot. All our days you ground our being, sage and thistle, grass and root. Herbs to heal us, plants to feed us, land to till and tend and plow. With the pendant deep as midnight north, we ask you, hear now. Father, ere your inspiration holds together all that lives, as we breathe our minds see clearly, leading us to love and give. Raging whirlwind, whispered breezes, violent gale and gentle love. With the blade as sharp as morning east, we ask you, hear now. Father, fire burns and torn, share the passion of the sun. In our hearts your warmth revives us, cooks our food and heats our homes. Flaming candle, love within us, blazing desert built to grow. With the one directing power, self we ask you, be here now. Sister water ever flowing, ocean, river, pond and rain. Drink we now and quench our thirsting, cleanse as we begin again. Mist and ice, a host of changes, all that courage will allow. With the cup, the holy chalice, west we ask you, be here now.
Once again, welcome to the Kitsap Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. We're so glad to be together on this loving, vibrant community. Whoever you are and wherever you come from, for this hour we hear our one gathered congregation, and all are welcome. My name is Ed Luby, and in the spirit of KUUF mission, as we strive to be more inclusive, I offer you this self-description. I am a male in my mid-50s. I'm wearing a dark blue shirt and blue jeans. I have graying hair that's balding in the back, and I do use a wheelchair to get from point A to point B. I have been a member of KUUF for about 5 years now, maybe 6 years. Time blurs during COVID. I have served on a few different committees, mainly on the board of directors, and I sing with the choir and our great musical offerings that we have here. Our worship leader this morning is Zelda Foxall, a professional storyteller who has been doing in-character vignettes of historically significant African-American women since 2008, when she co-founded the performing arts company Cause Is Art. Through Zelda, these women are stepping forward to tell their own stories of how they overcame the tremendous odds of poverty, racism, and ignorance to climb to the top of their fields. If you are visiting us this morning, welcome. If you're here in person, we look forward to welcoming you after the service during our coffee hour. If you're attending online, please introduce yourself in the chat. Either way, we're glad you're here. I invite you to follow along on the order of service. For those of you attending virtually, all the links for this service, including the order of service, are on our website and in this morning's worship service email. If you're here in the sanctuary this morning, please silence all of your electronic devices. The announcements are available on our website, www.kuuf.org, or in our weekly email newsletter, The Candle. We acknowledge that the land on which we gather is the Aboriginal territory of the Suquamish people, expert fishermen, canoe builders, and basket weavers, the Suquamish live in harmony with the lands and waterways along Washington's Central Salish Sea, as they have for thousands of years. Here, the Suquamish live and protect the land and waters of their ancestors for future generations, as promised by the Point Elliott Treaty of 1855. These are our opening words by Barbara J. Peskin. For the beauty of the earth, the spinning blue-green ball, yes. Gaia, mother of everything, we walk gently across your back to come together again in this place, to remember how we can live, to remember who we are, to create how we will be. Gaia, our home, the lap in which we live, welcomes us. Now we welcome Judy Arbogast, our worship coordinator for today, to come up and light our chalice. Join me now in lighting our chalice. If you have your own chalice at home, please light it as I read our chalice lighting words by Albert Schweitzer. At times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person. Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lighted the flame within us. And now please join me in the spoken affirmation. The words will appear on your screen. We gather as a caring community, seeking life's deeper meanings. We value diversity and affirm the worth of all living things. We strive to speak truth in love, to act for justice, to grow in spirit, and to care for the earth. We celebrate with open hearts and minds the creative power that sustains and transforms us. Our next hymn is On the Dusty Earth Drum. It's number 74 in your gray hymnal. The words were written by John Seaman Cotter Jr., a talented playwright, journalist, and a poet, born and reared in Louisville, Kentucky. Please rise in body and or in spirit to join in singing hymn number 74, On the Dusty Earth Drum. Now, Melinda Hughes, our Director of Religious Education, will share our time for all ages.
So this summer, the children are participating in a program called Summer Magic. Most of it has to do with service, and today they are going to be working in our garden. I don't know if everybody knows we have a garden. So we have a garden, Nancy Joe's Garden, named after Nancy Joe Jander, who is one of our fellowship ancestors. So today, I'm going to be sharing a story about farming. And this book is called Anywhere Farm. For an anywhere farm, here's all that you need: soil and sunshine, some water, a seed. Fat seed or skinny seed, pointy or round, tenderly tuck it down into the ground. Then you watch and you wait, you water, you weed. Your seed will sprout out at its own seedy speed. And you'll have an anywhere farm. Where can you plant your anywhere farm? An old empty lot makes a good growing plot, but a pan or a bucket, a pot or a shoe, a bin or a tin, or a window will do. Plant a farm in a crate, plant a farm in a cup, in a box on a balcony 10 stories up. Plant a farm in a truck, in a box on a bike. Plant an anywhere farm anywhere that you like. Anywhere that you have some soil, some seed, some sunshine and water, that's all that you need for your anywhere farm. What can you plant on your anywhere farm? Kale in a pail, corn in a horn, beets and zucchini, oregano, beans, jicama, broccoli, radishes, greens, tomatoes, potatoes, peppers, and peas. On your anywhere farm, plant whatever you please. Who might come to visit your anywhere farm? You might see a monarch, a ladybug, bees, hummingbirds, cardinals, fat chickadees. Your neighbors might come when they see what you've grown. They might want an anywhere farm of their own. You might give them some seeds that they plant in a can, a carton, a wash tub, an old frying pan, in a boat or a boot, or right in their yard. Anyone can do it. You've showed it's not hard. With your farm in a basket and mine on a chair, with soil and sunshine and water and care, one day all our anywhere farms anywhere might turn into an everywhere farm everywhere. Where does it all start? What do you need? Just one farmer, you, and one little seed. So today, Mal is going to be joined by Marty Bishop and Donna Monroe as the children work up in the garden, and the little ones might go over. And I just want to also thank Jenny Sugimoto, who's up there covering the childcare portion of RE today. So please rise, embody your spirit, and sing Our Children on Their Way.
Thank you. And before we move on, I'd like to acknowledge Bunny Starika, who's also song leading for us today. Even though you may not be hearing her over there, she's helping us stay on track with our music. We gather as a religious community to give each one of us a place where we can do the work of many. Together, our light is much brighter than a solitary flame. Now is the time in our service when we share the sacred act of giving, an expression of gratitude transformed into generosity that breathes life into our mission. As a part of our mission that inspires us to act on our beliefs, we share our weekly offering with a local nonprofit agency providing services within our larger community. Our charitable giving recipient for the month of August is the Bremerton Backpack Brigade. In a moment, our ushers will move among us with baskets to collect the offering. Donations placed in the basket will go to the Bremerton Backpack Brigade. If you would like your offering to be used for KUUF, please use one of the envelopes provided to you with your order of service when you came into the sanctuary. For those joining us online, you may go to our website, kuuf.org, and select the Giving tab for PayPal and mailing information. If this is your first time at KUUF, feel free to let the basket pass you by. Your presence is your gift. Let there be an offering to strengthen and sustain our community, which is sacred to so many of us. Let us enjoy a gift of music from our music coordinator, Brian Kenny.
Oh, brother, sun, you bring us light, all shining round in fiery might. Oh, sister moon, you heal and bless, your beauty shines in tenderness. Oh, brother wind, you sweep the hills, your mighty breath both freshens and fills. Oh, sister water, you cleanse and flow through rivers and streams, through ice and snow. Oh, brother fire, you warm our night with all your dancing colored light. Oh, sister earth, you feed all things, all birds, all creatures, all scales and wings. Oh, sister death, you bring us here and take us to our God so near. Oh, God of life, we give you praise for all your creatures, for all your ways. Oh, sister death, you meet us here and take us to our God so near. Oh, God of life, we give you praise for all your creatures, for all your ways.
Now is the time for our joys and sorrows. When shared together, our joys are amplified and our sorrows lessened. We had 4 in the basket, but I know that 2 of them were read last week, so I'm not going to read them again because the person who submitted them isn't even in the sanctuary, so I'm sure she didn't submit them again this week. If the other 2 are repeats, I apologize, but you'll hear them again. Bill Budd offers a joy of thanks for all of those who are working on the deck. Absolutely. Bonner has a joy to be over COVID-19 after being away for 2 Sundays. He's also grateful for his family's housekeeper, Queen Wilson, who instructed him on how to iron a shirt when Bonner was 16. Truly a valued lesson from a great member of the extended Sam's family. And finally, we have a joy that the Klamath Dam removal will mean the return of Chinook salmon and many indigenous plants to California and Oregon under the supervision of local tribes. We're not merely acknowledging them in this case, we're learning from them and adhering to their teachings for the benefit of all. And we light one last candle for those joys and sorrows that are still too tender to share. Please join me in a moment of prayer or intention. In the spirit of community, in which we find strength and common purpose, we share our joys, our sorrows, our hopes and dreams. We have turned our minds and hearts toward one another in trust, giving love, seeking comfort, and celebrating together. We are part of the web of life that makes us one with all humanity, one with all the universe. In all the moments of our lives, for those loved ones and events shared this morning, and for those we yet hold in the silence of our hearts, we are truly grateful for the love and support of this beloved community. May the spirit of life and love bring peace to us all. Amen and blessed be. Please remain seated as we sing Spirit of Life, hymn number 123 in our gray hymnal. The words will appear on your screen. Our reading today is by W.E. Du Bois. Now is the accepted time, not tomorrow, not some more convenient season. It is today that our best work can be done, and not some future day or future year. It is today that we fit ourselves for the greater usefulness of tomorrow. Today is the seed time. Now are the hours of work, and tomorrow comes the harvest and the playtime. Now please join me in a moment of reflection, followed by our post-reflection music.
We come from the mountain, living in the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living in the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. Whoa, so is life. Ah, so is life.
Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Whoa, so is life. Ah, so is life. Whoa, so is life. A body wah. So is life. Water makes the river, river shapes the mountain, fire makes the sunlight turn the world around. Heart is of the river, body is the mountain, spirit is the sunlight, turn the world around. We are of the Spirit, truly of the Spirit, only can the Spirit turn the world around. We are of the Spirit, truly of the Spirit, only can the Spirit turn the world around.
Good morning, church. I am Wangari Maathai, and I must tell you that you have filled my spirit and my soul today by inviting me here to your beautiful church campus with trees all around, and then you welcome me into your building with such beautiful music and song that celebrate the earth and the environment. And Melinda with that story, Anywhere Farm, it touched me to the very core of my heart. And I thank you. Because you reinforced by your actions today that it is the people who must save the environment. It is the people who must make their leaders change. And so we must stand up for what we believe, and we cannot be intimidated. And I'm also so overjoyed because we see every day how our young people are stepping up to save the planet that they will inherit. They're stepping up and they're speaking out. There was one young lady caught my attention. Her name, Vanessa Nakata, and she spoke at COP26, Climate Change Conference. And what she said reminded me of why I founded the Green Belt Movement over 40 years ago. And let me read you what she said. It is evident that women and girls are disproportionately affected by the climate crisis in communities like mine. In many communities across the global south, women and girls have had the responsibility of providing food for their families, or collecting water for their families, or firewood for their families. And it is women who have to walk very long distances to look for water for their families in case of extreme water scarcity. Now, that is why I founded the Greenbelt Movement years ago, and we're still dealing with the same problems. But I want to talk to you also about why the Greenbelt Movement is still relevant today. But first, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was born in Kenya in 1940, and I was so very fortunate because in those times, they only educated boys, not girls. But my big brother convinced my parents that I should have an education too. And I got one. I was a very good student. I was very smart. I loved school. I loved learning. And when I completed high school, I got the biggest opportunity of my lifetime. Never dreamt about it. And it came from a young senator from America. His name was John F. Kennedy. How many of you are familiar with the Kennedy airlift? Raise your hands. Let me see. Yes, yes. That young senator made it possible for young Eastern Africans to come to America to get an education. I came. I spent 5.5 years here. I got a BS in biology, an MS in biological sciences. I got a superior education because it infused me with the spirit of freedom and the spirit of possibilities. Anything is possible. And I took that back with me to my home in Kenya. I got married. I had 3 children. And I got my PhD in veterinary anatomy. And then I became one of the few women to become a professor at the University of Nairobi. Do you know what that means for someone to be a professor, someone like me, a woman? Oh, a very prestigious position. People from all over come to you. They want things. They want to invite you to places, to organizations, to run things. It's a great honor. But you know what I picked? The thing that was most important to me? I joined the National Council of Women of Kenya. And this council focused on the needs of rural, poor women who were farmers, women who had the responsibility for taking care of their families, for feeding their families, and making sure they're cared for, that they go to school. They had that responsibility. But they were frustrated. It was becoming hard. Why? Why? Because the government of Kenya, the developers of Kenya, they were telling the farmers, oh no, cut down the trees, clear the land. You can make so much more money growing coffee and growing tea and selling it on the international market. That's what you should do. And the women said, with them doing that, we're having to go further and further away to find wood to cook, to find wood to burn, to keep us warm, keep our babies warm, to find wood to build fences, to keep our animals in, because our animals are part of our subsistence. Water? If there are no trees, yes, you have streams, but the roots of the trees hold the soil together, yes? If it's not there, the soil runs off into the streams and into the water. You have dirty water. If you are making formula for your babies, you're using that dirty water and giving it to your children. It's not sustainable. We can't cook. We can't bathe. We can't drink fresh water. We have come to you, National Council of Women of Kenya, for your help, to help us. I was so surprised when I heard that because I was born in that region, in Kenya. And when I was coming up, it was beautiful, it was fertile. We had food, we had water. It was clean, it was beautiful. We had fruit, we had trees, we had plants, fruit. All those things that they are fighting so hard now to keep. We had to do something because the women, those women were our mothers. They were our sisters. They were our grandmothers. They were our aunts. And we had to help them. And so the National Council of Women, they had the capabilities. They were political leaders. They were religious leaders. They were successful business women. And we set out to help them. Now, I'm one, when I hear of a problem, I am not one to wring my hands. Oh my, what am I going to do? No. I look for solutions. There's always a solution. And in this instance, if they are cutting down the trees, what is the solution? You plant more trees. And you educate the people as to why it is important to plant more trees. And so we, the women of the National Council of Kenya, we went around to every nook and cranny, every conference, every convention, every meeting to spread the word, to educate the people why trees are important for our future, for our planet. We had marches and events. We had one real big event at Kunji Park. We had a big march, and we invited the press. We told them that we were going to plant 7 trees in honor of 7 heroes in Kenya. It was going to be big. And we invited the national newspapers, government officials, anyone who would come. We had hundreds of people who turned up that day. Even the president's daughter, Margaret Kenyatta, came to our event where we were publicizing our drive for the Green Belt movement to plant trees. It was a success. In fact, the very next day, there we were, a picture on the front page of the national newspaper. We could not have asked for more. It was such a success. Now everybody knew about the Green Belt movement and what we were trying to do. And you know what? People were so excited. They realized that what we were doing was important. Then all of a sudden, the days went by. More and more people were coming to us, asking for trees, asking for seedlings. We want to be part of this. We want to grow our nurseries. We want to do these things. Oh, I was so thrilled. All these people coming and asking. And you know what? Oh, I got the big head. I got to dreaming big. I said, oh, with this much excitement and enthusiasm, we could plant a tree for every person in Kenya. And mind you, there were 15 million of them. I got the motto, 1 person, 1 tree. But then, as I really thought about it, and as I kept seeing all of the people coming and asking for more trees and seedlings, I thought, oh my goodness, where am I going to get all of these? I'm going to be a victim of my success. I have to deliver. What am I going to do? As I said, I do not wring my hands. I look for solutions. Where did I find my solution? I remembered Kenya has a chief forester. Yes, that person you go to for trees and seedlings. So I looked him up and I came to see him. He had heard about the movement. And I told him yes. And I told him my motto, one person, one tree. Well, he sat back. He looked at me. And he said, now, you are that Professor Wangari Maathai, yes? I go, yes, I am. And you work for the University of Nairobi, yes? I go, yes, I do. So he said, tell me, because I don't understand. Why would a professor with a PhD want to dig around in the earth with poor women farmers, digging in the dirt? Why would you do that? Why would you want to do that? And let me say this. When you are talking about planting trees, you need professionals to plant trees. These uneducated women cannot do that. We need professionals. And I said, well, with all due respect, Chief Forester, what I have learned is that when you involve professionals, it makes everything more complicated. That does not work for me. Now, it does not take rocket science to dig a hole in the ground, to pick up a tree or seedlings, put them in the hole, cover them up, put water on them, and maintain them. That is not hard. They can do that. And in fact, we call these women foresters without degrees. Well, he looked at me. And he said, well, I'm aware of your little movements. And I think I won't be able to help. In fact, I will give you all the trees and seedlings that you need. But you see, church, I could see in his eyes, he was not taking me seriously. In his eyes, they were telling me this movement would not last long and that I would just go away. But I had plans for him. I had no intention of going away. And I had every intention that the Green Belt movement would be a success. And so I just said, thank you. Thank you very much, Chief Forester. And we will be coming to get those trees and seedlings. And we did. Week after week. Month after month. And it went on and on. And finally he said, wait, stop. You are asking for too much. I have more clients than you. I have far more people that I have to provide trees and seedlings. You cannot have them all. Now, if you insist to keep coming here, you will have to pay. Now, church, to be amused, I said, oh, pay? Oh, but we are a volunteer organization. We have no money. How could we possibly pay? We were depending on you to give us the trees and the seedlings, as you said you would. I cannot do that now. You must pay or you'd get nothing else. Well, I always have a plan B. Because I knew this day could possibly come. Because we were quite successful, beyond our wildest dreams. I had put in the air some of my closest farmers, the women, to grow some things on the side, keep them on the side, because one day our chief forester may not be so giving. And so we did. And we had other farmers out in the fields who wanted to grow their own nurseries. We had so much help. The women stayed together, and the men. The men began to join us. We planted rows and rows, straight arrow rows of trees and seedlings, and watered them, and they grew. And after a while, because you see, we were dealing with very poor women. But you know what? We were so successful that we were able to even pay them. We were even able to pay them. It was not a big income, but it was something to help them feed their families, nutritious foods that they grew, that they didn't have to go to the market and buy the white rice and the white flour. They were able to grow their foods, feed their children, their families, as well as school them. Because everyone knows if your kids are not well nourished, they do not learn. It is very important. And we were very, very successful. From that time, in 1977, when I founded the Green Belt Movement, we planted some 50 million trees. And my foundation is alive and well today. It's run by my daughter. And we are getting the word out. All of the young people are stepping up. And you know, church, the Green Belt Movement, it's more than just planting trees. It's a lot more than that. It's about planting ideas. It's about planting hope. It's about saving our planet. It's about something that anybody can do. Any one of us here can plant a tree. And as I said, it's not rocket science. We can all do something to save our planet. Because remember, it is the people who must save the environment. It is the people who must make their leaders change. And so, we must stand up for what we believe. And we cannot, we shall not be intimidated. Thank you. And now, please rise in body and spirit to sing our closing hymn, Wa Ya Ya. It is number 1020 in our teal hymnal, and the words will appear on the screen.
Heaven knows where we are going, but we know when, and we will get there.
is time for us to wrap up. After the service is over today, please exit through the foyer. Coffee and tea will be served not in the breezeway. This is an old script. The breezeway is rather under construction. Do not go into the breezeway. It will be served in the foyer. You're welcome to stay in here with your beverages and snacks. Today is our first day for the farmers market. Shoppers bring a donation for some fresh veggies grown in KUUF's garden. We have some tomatoes, green beans, and of course, zucchini. We will be next to the gazebo after the service. Thank you, farewell, and blessed be.